ಸಂಸಾರದವ ನಲಲಿದಲೋಕ ತ್ರಾಣಾಯ ಕಾರುಣ್ಯ ಗಣ ಗಣ ತ್ವಂ प्रतस्य कल्याण गुणनवास्य वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् महाप्रभो कीर्तन नित्य गीता वादित्रमाद्यान् मनसोरसेन
महाप्रभो कीर्तन नित्य गीता वादित्रमाद्यान् मनसोरसेन
रोमाञ्चकाम्पाश्रुतरङ्गभाजो वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् श्रीविग्रहाराधन नित्यानाना सिंगारातान् मन्दिरमजनादो युक्तस्य भक्तां च नियुञ्जतोऽपि वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् चतुर्विधा श्रीभगवत्प्रसादा स्वादान्न तृप्तान् हरिभक्तसङ्गान् कृत्वैव तृप्तिं भजता सदैव वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् श्रीराधिका माधवयोरपारा माधुर्या लीला गुणरूपनाम्नाम् प्रतीक्षणा स्वादनलोलुपास्या वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् निकुञ्जयुनो रतिकेलिसिद्ध्यै यायालिभिर्युक्ते अपेक्षणीया तत्रातिदाक्षात् अतिवल्लभास्या वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् साक्षाद्धरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रे उक्तस्तथा भाव्यत एव साध्वी किन्तु प्रभोर्या प्रिय एव तास्या वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादान् न गति कुतोऽपि ध्यायान् सुवां तस्याय सस्त्रीसन्ध्यं वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् 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 नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ते वेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा Shri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Nila Madhava Radha Nila Madhava Sri Radhe. Jayo Jagannatha Jayo Baladeva Jayo Subhadrama Jayo Sudarshana. Jayo Sita Ram Jayo Sita Ram Jayo Sita Ram Jayo Lakshmana Hanuman. Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha. Jayo Gauranitai Jayo Gauranitai Jayo Gauranitai Jayo Gauranitai. Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada. Jayo Guru Deva Jayo Guru Deva Jayo Guru Deva Jayo Guru Deva. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Jai Om Shnupad Brahmamsa Pajaka Jaya Shtota Shata Shishmat His Divine Grace Aparachana Vrinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON BBTPI Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Shnupad Brahmamsa Pajaka Acharya Shtota Shata Shishmat His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Premise Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Dadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrajabhumi Vrindavanam Ki Jai Shri Navadvipa Mayapurdam Ki Jai Shri Purushotama Chaitra Jagnapuridam Ki Jai Shri Ayodhya Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Samavrita Bhaktavinda Ki Jai Harinama Sankirtana Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Pralada Lada Daini Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha Shilatanka Nakalaye Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha Pahe Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapate Tavakara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shringam Talita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavatita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jayo Narsimha Dev Jayo Narsimha Dev Jayo Narsimha Dev Jayo Narsimha Dev Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gaura Hari Bol नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी 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 नमो नमः राधा कृष्ण सेवा पावो हे अभिलाषी राधा कृष्ण सेवा पावो हे अभिलाषी राधा कृष्ण सेवा पावो हे अभिलाषी राधा पावो हे अभिलाषी ये तुम्हार शरण लो तारा वांछा पूर्ण हो ये तुम्हार शरण लो तारा वांछा पूर्ण हो कृपा कोरी कोरो तारे वृंदावन वासी कृपा कोरी कोरो तारे वृंदावन वासी मोराए अभिलाष विलास कुंज दियो वास मोराए अभिलाष विलास कुंज दियो वास नयने हेरिबो सदा युगल रूप राशि नयने हेरिबो सदा युगल रूप राशि ए निवेदन धारो सखीरानुगत करो ए निवेदन सखीरानुगत करो सेवाधिकार दिए करो निज दासी अधिकार दिए करो निज दासी दीना कृष्ण दासे को ये न मोरा हो दीना कृष्ण को श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेम सदा ये न बासी श्री राधा सदा ये न भासी श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेम सदा ये न भासी श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेम सदा ये न भासी नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः नमो नमः यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति pradakshina pade pade yani kani cha papani brahmahatyadikani cha tani tani pranashyanti pradakshina pade pade yani kani cha papani ityadikani cha tani tani pranashyanti pradakshina pade pade Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Tulsi Maharani 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 Jaya Vrinde Devi Jaya Vrinde Devi Jaya Vrinde Devi Jaya Vrinde Devi Jaya Vrinde Jaya Vrinde Devi Jaya Vrinde Devi Jaya Vrinde Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Shri Vrindaya Tulasi Devyaya Priyaya Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatya Namo Namaha Vrindaya Tulasi Devyaya Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatya Namo Namaha Shri Vrindaya Tulasi Devyaya Priyaya Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatya Namo Namaha Vrindaya Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatya Shri Vrindaya Tulasi Devyaya Priyaya Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatya Namo Namaha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatya Vrinda Devi Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai.
Lord of Krishna, I bow down before you again and again. My desire to tender service to Shri Radha, wherever take shelter you have wished. Please have mercy upon me and make me residence of Vrindavan. My desire also bring me residence in the precious groves of Shiva and Vrindavan town. Thus within my vision I shall behold the beautiful paths of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me follow the careful dance of the Virgin. Please give me the privilege of devotional service and make me your own maidservant. This very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna prays. May I always swim in the love of Shri Radha and Govind, Shrimati Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. There are 10 offenses in the matter of chanting holy names that should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees of dedicated life for propagating holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of the demigods of Shiva or Brahma to be equal to independent name Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of a spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature pursuing the Vedic version. 5. To consider glorious chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on strength of chanting the holy name. 8. To consider chanting Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritual activities, offering the Vedas fruity activities, karma, ganda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glorious holy name. 10. To not complete faith in the chanting holy names, and to maintain material attachments even after standing so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve desired success. Krishna Prema. Now let us offer most humble obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees, Lord. They are just as I trees who can fulfill to everyone, and are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam Ki Jai. Jeto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavakni Nirvapanam Shriya Kairava Chantrika Vitaranam Vidyavatu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Paravijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namagari Bahudha Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Pita Niyamita Smarane Nagalaha Eta Dvishi Tavakripa Bhagavam Mamapi Durudeva Mi Disham Iha Janina Nurakaha Trinatapi Sunijena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadaharihi Na Thanam Na Janam Na Sundarim Kavitam Vajagadisha Kamaye Mama Jammani Jammanishvare Bhavata Bhaktir Haituki Tavayi Ayinanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Ham Vishame Bhavam Puta Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sthita Duri Sattvisham Vichintaya Nayanam Garada Shuru Dharaya Vadanam Gad Gada Rudaya Kira Pulakai Nichitam Vapurkada Tava Nama Grahane Bhavishyati Yuga Itam Nimishena Chakshusha Pravisha Itam Shunya Itam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahena Me Ashrisha Padaratam Pinnashtumam Hadarshanam Marmahatam Karotuva Yatha Tatha Va Vidatatu Lampato Madprana Natastu Se Eva Na Paraha Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam Ki Jai. Glory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes fire of conditional life, repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is prime benediction of humanity in the large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone can all benediction of human beings. Thus you have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govind. In these transcendental names invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out kindness enables so easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Sanhamarjananda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow I fall into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of Adam to your lotus feet. O my Lord, While my eyes be decorated with tears, love flowing constant when I chant your holy name. While my voice choke up, while hairs my body stand and the recitation of your name. Oh Govinda, feeling of separation comes a moment to be like a great millennium. Tears are flowing from eyes like torrents of rain, and I feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Shri Mangala Charna prayers ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshum Litam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragnatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pajatadesha Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Satanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhavin Namaha Madhuyo Jala Premadya Shri Rupa Nukha Bhaktita Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupa Nukha Viruta Pasithanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Saksha Vairagya Murtaye Vipalambara Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namne Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumistvam Nirdeshta Sajanapriyaha Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannatayate Namaha Vancha Kalpadurupyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishin Namaha Pancha Tattvatammakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakham Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Suratoro Pango Mamamanta Mater Gati Masarvasva Padam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Vindadanya Kalpadumada Shimadra Nagara Singhasanasto Shrimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prishtaribi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasa Rasaram Bivam Shiva Tatatastitaha Karsham Venu Saner Gopir Gopinatha Shriyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishvali Vishabhanu Sute Devi Panamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Dhadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Mangala Charna prayers ki jai. Shri Brahma Samhita ki jai. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadyaradya Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Parakara Satmasukalpa Viksha Laksha Vriteshu Surabhi Rabi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasa Shatasam Parmasevyamanam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venung Kavanantam Aravinda Dalaya Daksham Parharvatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Gantarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shopam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Alola Chantakala Savanamada Ranangadam Panayakeli Kalavilasam Shamam Chipanga Laditam Yatapakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Abduran Yasya Sakalendu Avrittimanti Pashanti Panti Karayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chimme Satujala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Advaitam Achotam Anadi Mananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedesho Durabam Adurabam Atma Bhakta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Pantastu Koti Shatavassara Sampragamyo Vayurathapi Manaso Muni Pangavanam Sopyasti Yapapada Simya Vichinta Tadve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ekopya Sarachaitum Jagatanta Kotim Yachakti Rasti Jagatanta Chaya Yatantaha Antantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yad Bhava Bhavita Diyo Manujasta Teva Samprapya Rupa Mahimasana Yana Bhushaha Sutayam Eva Nikama Patitai Stuvanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ananda Chimmerasa Patibhavitabis Tabi Evan Jarupa Taya Kalabihi Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Premanjana Churuta Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sateva Hitayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundam Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ramadi Murtishu Kalanyamena Tishtan Nanavatarama Karod Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samapavat Parama Pumamyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Krishna, who is Govinda, the Supreme Godhead, he has an eternal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin and the prime cause of all causes.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord who adopts in playing on his flute with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock feathers, with the figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, round whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers beautified with the moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with the flute and jeweled ornaments, who always revels in pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending of Yamasundara is eternally manifest.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of that transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universe, both spiritual and mundane.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas but obtainable by pure and all devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and the eternal Purusha, yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayama by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane extending over thousands of millions of years.
He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore.
I adore the same Govinda, the primeval Lord, in whose praise men who are imbued with devotions sing the mantra suktas told by the Vedas by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thorns, conveyances, and ornaments.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities in the company of her confidence, Sakhis, embodiments of the extensions of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Syama Sundara, Krishna himself with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotee sees in their hearts of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna and the different avatars in the world in the forms of Rama, Nrsimha, Vamana, etc. Subject to portions. Sri Brahma Samhita ki Jai. Bhagavad Gita 7.1 purport. Srinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtanaha Hridayanta Histo hi abhadrani vidunoti suhratsatam Nasta prayesva abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki tada rajastamo bhava kama lobhasdayaschaye cheta eter anavidam sitam satve prasidati evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogatah bhagavad tattva vignanam mukta sangasya jayate vidyate hridaya granteschidyante sarva samsayaha shiyante chasya karmani drishta evatmanishvare. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes free from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lust and avarice and domination. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the science of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of Asamsayam Samagram, understanding of the Supreme Absolute Truth, Personality of Godhead, Bhagavatam 1.2.17 to 21. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the science of Krishna. Hare Krishna. We'll continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 5. Gadayam apaviddhayam ahakare vinirghate manayam asatad dharmam sunabham chasmarad vibuhu. Gadayam, as his mace, apavidhayam, fell, ahakare, a cry of alarm, vinigrate, rose, manayam, asa, acknowledged, tat, of Hiranyaksha, dharmam, righteousness, sunabham, the Sudarshana Chakra, cha, and asmarat, remembered, vibhuhu, the personality of Godhead. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As the Lord's mace fell to the ground and a cry of alarm arose from the witnessing crowd of gods and rishis, the personality of Godhead acknowledged the demon's love of righteousness and therefore invoked his Sudarshana to discuss. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 6. Tam vyagra chakram ditiputra dhamena parshada mukkena visajyamanam chitravacho tadvidham ke charanam tatra smasan swastite mam jahiti. Tam, unto the personality of Godhead, vyagra, revolving, chakram, whose discus, Ditiputra, son of Diti, Adamena, Vile, Swaparshada, of his associates, Mukyena, with the chief, Visajjamanam, playing, Chitraha, various, Vachaha, expressions, Etat Vidam, of those who did not know, Kecharanam, flying in the sky, Tatra, there, Sma Asan, occurred, Swasti, fortune, Te, unto you, Amum, him, Jahi, please kill. Iti, thus, translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As the discus began to revolve in the Lord's hands, and the Lord contended at close quarters with the chief of his Vaikuntha attendants, who had been born as Hiranyaksha, while son of Diti, there issued from every direction strange expressions uttered by those who were witnessing from airplanes. They had no knowledge of the Lord's reality, and they cried, "May victory attend you! Pray dispatch him! Play no more with him." Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 7. Satam nisamyatta ratangam agrato vyavasthitam padmapalasa lochanam vilokya chamarsa pariplutendriyo rasa swadanta chadam adasachvasan. Saha, that demon, Tham, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Nisamya, after seeing Attaratangam, armed with the Sudarshana disc, Agrataha, before him, Vyavastitam, standing in position, Padma, lotus flower, Palasa, petals, Lochanam, eyes, Vilokya, after seeing Cha, and Amarsha, by indignation, Paripluta, overpowered, Indriya, his senses, Rusha, with great resentment, Swadanta Chadam, his own lip, Adasad, bit, Swasan, hissing. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When the demon saw the personality Godhead who had eyes just like lotus petals standing in position before him, armed with his Sudarshana discus, his senses were overpowered by indignation. He began to hiss like a serpent and he bit his lip in great resentment. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 8. Karaladamsra chakshurbyam sankashano dhahan iva abhiplutya swagadaya hato siti ahanadharim. Karala, fearful, damstraha, having tusks, chakshurbyam, with both eyes, sankashnaha, staring, dahan, burning, iva, as if, abhiplutya, attacking, swagadaya, with his own club, ataha, slain, asi, you are, iti, thus, ahanat, struck, harim, met Hari. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The demon who had fearful tusks stared at the personality of Godhead as though to burn him. Springing into the air, he aimed his mace at the Lord, exclaiming at the same time, "You are slain." Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 9. Pada savyena tam sadho bhagavan yajna sukaraha leelaya misata satro prahradvata sarrahsam rahasam. Pada, with his foot, savyena, left, tam, that means, sadho, O Vidura, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, yajna sukaraha, in his boar form, the enjoyer of all sacrifices, Leelaya, playfully, Misataha, looking on, Satro, of his enemy Hiranyaksha, Praharat, knocked down, Ramhasam, having the force of a tempest. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O saintly Vidura, while his enemy looked on, the Lord in his boar form, the enjoyer of all sacrificial offerings, playfully knocked down the mace with his left foot, even as it came upon him with the force of a tempest. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 10. Aha cha yudam adastva gataswastam jigisasi iti ukta satada bhuyas tadayan vyanadadbrusham. Aha, he said, cha, and ayudam, weapon, adatswa, take up, gataswa, try, tvam, you, jigisasi, are eager to conquer, iti, thus, uktaha, challenge, saha, hiranyaksha, tada, at the time, bhuya, again, tadayan, striking it, vyanadad, road, brisham, loudly. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Lord then said, take up your weapon and try again, eager as you are to conquer me. Challenged in these words, the demon aimed his mace at the Lord and once more loudly roared. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 11. Tam sa apatam vikshya bhagavan samavastitaha jagraha leelaya praptam garutman eva panagim. Tam, that means, saha, he, apatim, apatatim, flying toward, vikshya, after seeing, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, samavastitaha, stood firmly, jagraha, caught, leelaya, easily, praptam, entered into his presence, garutman, garuda, eva, as, panagim, a serpent. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When the Lord saw the mace flying toward him, he stood firmly where he was and caught it with the same ease as Garuda, the king of birds. would seize a serpent. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 12. Sapaurushe pratihate hata mano mahasuraha naichad gadam diyamanam harina vigata prabaha. Sapaurushe, his valor, pratihate, frustrated, hata, destroyed, manaha, pride, maha asuraha, the great demon, na achat, desired not to take, gadam, the mace, diyamanam, being offered, harina, by Hari, vigata prabaha, reduced in splendor. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His valor thus frustrated, the great demon felt humiliated and was put out of countenance. He was reluctant to take back the mace when it was offered by the personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 13. Jagraha trisikam sulam jala jalana lolupam Ijñāya dhrutarupāya vipraya bicharanyata. Jagraha took up, trisikam, three-pointed, sulam, trident, jvalat, flaming, jvalana, fire, lolupam, rapacious, Ijñāya, the enjoyer of all sacrifices, dhrutarupāya, in the form of Varaha, vipraya, unto a Brahmana, Abhicharan, acting malevolently, Yata as. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He now took a trident which was as rapacious as a flaming fire and hurled it against the Lord, the enjoyer of all sacrifices, even as one would use penance for a malevolent purpose against a holy Brahmana. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 14. Tad ojasa daitya mahabatarpitam chakashad antahaka udirna diditi chakrena chicheda nisata na nemina haririyata tarksha patatram ujjutham. Tad, that trident, ojasa, with all his strength, daitya, among the demons, mahabhata, by the mighty fighter, arpitam, hurled, chakasat, shining, antahake, in the middle of the sky, udirna, increased, diditi, illumination, chakrena, by Sudarshana desk, chicheda, he cut to pieces, nisata, sharpened, nemina, rim, harihi, Indra, yatha, as, tarksha, of Garuda, patatram, the wing, ujitam, abundant. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hurled by the mighty demon with all his strength, the flying trident shone brightly in the sky. The personality of Godhead, however, tore it to pieces with his discus Sudarshana, which had a sharp-edged rim, even as Indra cut off a wing of Garuda. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The context of the reference here given herein regarding Garuda and Indra is this. Once upon a time, Garuda, the carrier of the Lord, snatched away a nectar pot from the hands of the demigods in heaven in order to liberate his mother, Vinata, from the clutches of his stepmother Kadru, the mother of the serpents. On learning of this, Indra, the king of heaven, hurled his thunderbolt against Garuda with a view to respect the infallibility of Indra's weapon. Garuda, though otherwise invincible, being the Lord's own mount, dropped one of his wings, which was shattered to pieces by the thunderbolt. The inhabitants of higher planets are so sensible that even in the process of fighting, they observe the preliminary rules and regulations of gentleness. In this case, Garuda wanted to show respect for Indra. Since he knew that Indra's weapon must destroy something, he offered his wing. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 15. Vrikni swasule bahudarina hare pratyeta vistirnam yuro vibhutimat pravriddharosha sa kathora mustina nadan prahritya taradiyatashuraha. Vrikni, when cut, swasule, his trident, bahuda, to many pieces, arina, by the Sudarshana Chakra, Hare, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Pratyetya, after advancing toward, Vistirnam, broad, Uraha, chest, Vibhutimat, the abode of the goddess of fortune. Pravriddha, having been increased, Roshaha, anger, Saha, Hiranyaksha, Katora, heart, Mustina, with his fist, Nadan, roaring, Prahritya, after striking Antaryadiyata, disappeared. Asura, the demon. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The demon was enraged when his trident was cut to pieces by the disgust of the personality of Godhead. He therefore advanced toward the Lord and, roaring aloud, struck his hard fist against the Lord's broad chest, which bore the mark of Srivatsa. Then he went out of sight. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srivatsa is a curl of white hair on the chest of the Lord, which is a special sign of his being the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Vaikuntha Loka or in Goloka Vrindavana, the inhabitants are exactly of the same form as the Personality of Godhead, but by this Srivatsa mark on the chest of the Lord, he is distinguished from all others. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 16. Tene tham mahata kshatar Bhagavan adi sukaraha nakam patamana kvapi srajahata iva dvipa thena by Hiranyaksha itham thus ahataha struck kshataha o Vidura Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Adi Sukaraha, the first bore, Na Akampata, did not feel quaking, Manak, even slightly, Kwa Api, anywhere, Sraja, by a garland of flowers, Ataha, struck, Iva, as Dvipa, an elephant. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hit in this manner by the demon, O Vidura, the Lord, who had appeared as the first boar, did not feel the least quaking in any part of his body, any more than an elephant would when struck with a wreath of flowers. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As previously explained, the demon was originally a servitor of the Lord in Vaikuntha, but somehow or other he fell as a demon. His fight with the Supreme Lord was meant for his liberation. The Lord enjoyed the striking on his transcendental body, just like a fully grown-up father fighting with his child. Sometimes a father takes pleasure in having a mock fight with a small child, and similarly, the Lord felt Hiranyaksha striking on his body to be alike flowers offered for worship. In other words, the Lord desired to fight in order to enjoy his transcendental bliss. Therefore, he enjoyed the attack. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 17. Atorudarshajan mayam yoga mayeshwara harau yam vilokya prajastrasta mainire swayapasa myayamam. Atha, then Uruda, in many ways, Asrajat, he cast, Mayam, conjuring tricks, Yogamaya Ishwari, the Lord of Yogamaya, Harau, the Adhari, Yam, which, Vilokya, after seeing, Prajaha, the people, Trastah, fearful, Menire, thought, Aya, Asya, of this universe, Upasamyamam, the dissolution. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The demon, however, employed many conjuring tricks against the personality of Godhead, who is the Lord of Yogamaya. At the sight of this, the people were filled with alarm and thought that the dissolution of the universes was near. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The fighting enjoyment of the Supreme Lord with his devotee who had been converted into a demon appeared severe enough to bring about the dissolution of the universe. This is the greatness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even the wavering of his little finger appears to be a great and very dangerous movement in the eyes of the inhabitants of the universe. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 18. Pravayur vyayavas chandas tamapam sabam airyavan dibyo nipetur gravanaha kshepanai prahita iva. Pravavuhu were blowing, vyayavaha, winds, chandaha, fears, tamaha, darkness, pamsavam, caused by dust, Aryan, were spreading, digbya, from every direction, nipetuhu, came down, gravanaha, stones, shepanai, by machine guns, prahitaha, thrown, iva, as if. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Fierce winds began to blow from all directions, spreading darkness occasioned by dust and hailstorms. Stones came in volleys from every corner, as if thrown by machine guns. Text Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 19. Dhyarnasta Bhagana Braughai Savidyus Stanainubihi Varshabdihi Puya Kesasrag Vinmutrastini Chakrat Dhyau, the sky, Nasta, having disappeared, Bhagana, luminaries, Abra, of clouds, Oghai, by masses, Sa, accompanied by Vidyut, lightning, Sanayitinubihi, the and thunder, Varshabdihi, raining, Puya, pus, Kesha, hair, Asrak, blood, with stool, Mutra, urine, Astini, bones, Cha, and Asakrat, again and again. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The luminaries in outer space disappeared due to the skies being overcast with masses of clouds, which were accompanied by lightning and thunder. The sky rained pus, hair, blood, stool, urine, and bones.
20. Text 20. Girayah pratyadrishyanta nanayuda mucho naga dig vasaso yatudanya sulinyo mukta murdajaha. Girayah, mountains, pratyadrishyanta, appeared, nana, various, ayuda, weapons, muchaha, discharging, anaga, O sinless one, dikvasaha, naked, etudhyanaha, demonesses, sulinyaha, armed with tridents, mukta, hanging loose, murdajaha, hair. Translation: O sinless Vidura, mountains discharged weapons of various kinds, and naked demonesses armed with tridents appeared with their hair hanging loose. Bahubi yaksha rakshobhi pattiswarata kunjaraihi Atathaibir utrusta himshra vachoti vaishashaha. Bahubi, by many, yaksha rakshobhi, yakshas and rakshasas, patti, marching on foot, ashwa, on horses, radha, on chariot, kunjarai, or on elephants, ata thaibihi, ruffians, utsrustaha, were uttered, himshraha, cruel, vachaha, words, ati vaisasaha, murderous. Ati vaishasaha. Cruel and savage slogans were uttered by hosts of ruffian yakshas and rakshasas, who all either marched on foot or rode on horses, elephants, or chariots. Text 22. Pradukshrita nam mayanam asurinam vinashayad sudarshanastram bhagavan prayunkta daitam tripat pradushkritina skrishta nam, displayed, mayanam, the magical forces, asurinim, displayed by the demon, vinashaya, desiring to destroy, sudarshana asram, the sudarshana weapon, bhagavan, the supreme personality of Godhead, prayunkta, through, daitam, beloved, tripath, the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Translation: the Lord, the personal enjoyer of all sacrifices, now discharged his beloved Sudarshana, which was capable of dispersing the magical forces displayed by the demon. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Even famous yogis and demons can sometimes enact very magical feats by their mystic power. But in the presence of Sudarshana Chakra, when it is let loose by the Lord, all such magical jugglery is dispersed. The instance of the quarrel between the Durvasa Muni and Maharaja Ambarisha is a practical example in this matter. Durvasa Muni wanted to display many magical wonders, but when the Sudarshana Chakra appeared, Durvasa himself was afraid and fled to various planets for his personal protection. The Lord is described here as Tripath, which means that he is the enjoyer of three kinds of sacrifices. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord confirms that he is the beneficiary and enjoyer of all sacrifices, penances, and austerities. The Lord is the enjoyer of three kinds of yajna. As further described in Bhagavad Gita, there are sacrifices of goods, sacrifices of meditation, sacrifices of philosophical speculation. Those on the paths of gnana, yoga, and karma all have to come in the end to the Supreme Lord because Vasudeva Sarvamiti. The Supreme Lord is the ultimate enjoyer of everything. That is the perfection of all sacrifice. Can you read 23? Text 23. Tada diteh samabhavat sahasa hridi vepatuh smarantya vartur adesham sthanachashrik prashushruve. Tada, at that time, dite of diti, samabhavat occurred, sahasa suddenly, hridi in the heart, vepatu a shudder, smarantyah recalling, bhartuh of her husband, Kashyapa, adesham the words, stanat from her breast, cha and ashrik blood, prashushruve flowed. At that very moment, a shudder suddenly ran through the heart of Diti, the mother of Hiranyaksha. She recalled the words of her husband Kashyapa, and blood flowed from her breasts.
Whose breast, Diti?
Yes. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. At Hiranyaksha's last moment, his mother Diti remembered what her husband had said. Although her sons would be demons, they would have the advantage of being killed by the personality of Godhead himself. She remembered this incident by the grace of the Lord, and her breast flowed blood instead of milk. In many instances, we find that when a mother is moved by affection for her sons, milk flows from her breasts. In the case of the demon's mother, the blood could not transform into milk, but it flowed down her breast as it was. Blood transforms into milk. To drink milk is auspicious, but to drink blood is inauspicious. Although they are one and the same thing, this formula is applicable in the case of cow's milk also. Text 24. Vinastasu swamayashu bhuyas chavrajya keshavam rusopaguhamanumam dadrushe avastitam bahi. Vinastashu, when dispelled, swa mayashu, his magical forces, bhuyaha again, cha and avrajya, after coming into his presence, Keshavam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rusa, full of rage, Upaguhamanaha, embracing, Amum, the Lord, Dadrishe, saw, Avastitam, standing, Bahi, outside. Abhi, even though you don't read, you can follow, right? Follow. Translation. When the demon saw his magic forces dispelled, he once again came into the presence of the personality of Godhead Keshava, and full of rage, tried to embrace him within his arms to crush him. But to his great amazement, he found the Lord standing outside the circle of his arms. Outside the circle of his arms. In this verse, purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In this verse, the Lord is addressed as Kesava because he killed the demon Keshi in the beginning of creation. Keshava is also a name of Krishna. Krishna is the origin of all incarnations, and it is confirmed in Brahma Samhita that Govinda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, exists simultaneously in his different incarnations and in expansions. The demon's attempt to measure the Supreme Personality of Godhead is significant. The demon wanted to embrace him with his arms, thinking that with his limited arms he could capture the Absolute by material power. He did not know that God is the greatest of the great and the smallest of the small. No one can capture the Supreme Lord or bring him under his control. But the demoniac person always attempts to measure the length and breadth of the Supreme Lord. By his inconceivable potency, the Lord can become the universal form, as explained in Bhagavad Gita, and at the same time he can remain within the box of his devotees as their worshipable deity. There are many devotees who keep a statue of the Lord in a small box and carry it with them everywhere. Every morning they worship the Lord in the box. The Supreme Lord Keshava, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, is not bound by any measurement of or calculation. He can remain with his devotee in any suitable form, yet he is unapproachable by any amount of demoniac activities. Text 25.
Which text?
You're not there at 65.
Oh, I'm here. 27. 23.
65 page.
Sanmustapirvinganantam Vajrasarairadokshajaha Karena Karnamulehan Yata Tvastram Marutpitaha Tam Hiranyaksha Mustibihi with his fists Vinignatam Nanantam striking Vajra Sarai as hard as the thunderbolt. Adoksaja Lord Adoksaja Karena with the hand Karna Mule at the root of the ear. Han struck Yata as Twastram. The demon Vrita, son of Twasta, Marut Patihi, Indra, Lord of the Maruts. Translation. The demon now began to strike the Lord with his hard fist, but Lord Adoksaja just slapped him in the root of the ear, even as Indra, the Lord of the Maruts, hit the demon Vrita. Purport. The Lord is explained here to be Adoksaja, beyond the reach of all material calculation. Akshaja means the measurement of our senses, and Adokshaja means that which is beyond the measurement of our senses. Sah Sahato Visvajitavi Avagnaya Pare Brahmadigratra Udashta Lochanaha Vishiruna Bhavangri Siro Ruho Patad Yata Nagendro Lulidos Nabhashvata Saha he Ahataha having been struck Vishvajita by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he though Avangnaya indifferently Paribhramat wheeling Gatraha body Udashta bludged Lochana eyes Vishirna broken Bahu arms Anghi legs Sirarohaha hair Apatat fell down Yata like Nagendraha a gigantic tree Lulitaha uprooted Nabashvata by the wind. Translation. Though struck indifferently by the Lord, the conqueror of all, the demon's body began to wheel. His eyeballs bulged out of their sockets, his arms and legs broken, and the hair on his head scattered. He fell down dead, like a gigantic tree uprooted by the wind. Purport. It does not take even a moment for the Lord to kill any powerful demon, including Hiranyaksha. The Lord could have killed him long before, but he allowed the demon to display his full extent of his magical feats. One may know that by magical feats, by scientific advancement, one of knowledge, or by material power, one cannot become the equal of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His one signal is sufficient to destroy all our attempts. His inconceivable power, as displayed here, is so strong that the demon, despite all his demoniac maneuvers, was killed by the Lord when the Lord desires, simply by one slap.
Text 27. Kshitau sayanam tamankuta karaladam sram paridastadachadam jadayo viksha shashamsuragata aho imam konu labita samam stitam right? What is the dot on the amma? Samstitam. Amstitam. Samstitam.
Even if there's a dot on more, read the sentence.
Okay. Kshitau. Yeah. Kshitau on the ground. Shayanam lying. Tham. Hiranyaksha. Akunta unfaded. Varchasam glow. Karala fearful. Damstram teeth. Paridasta bitten. Dachadam lip. Ajadaya Brahma and others. Viksha having seen. Shashamsu admiringly said. Agataha bribed. Aho, oh, imam this. Kahu, no, indeed Labeta could meet. Samsitim death. Translation: Aja, Brahma, and others arrived on the spot to see the fearfully tusked demon lying on the ground, biting his lip. The glow of his face was yet unfaded, and Brahma admiringly said, "Oh, who could meet such blessed death?" Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Although the demon was dead, his bodily luster was unfaded. This is very peculiar because when a man or animal is dead, the body immediately becomes pale. The luster gradually fades and decomposition takes place. But here, although Hiranyaksha lay dead, his bodily luster was unfaded because the Lord, the Supreme Spirit, was touching his body. One's bodily luster remains fresh only as long as the spirit soul is present. Although the demon soul had departed his body, the Supreme Spirit touched the body, and therefore his bodily luster did not fade. The individual soul is different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who sees the Supreme Personality of Godhead when he quits his body is certainly very fortunate, and therefore personalities like Brahma and the other demigods eulogized the death of the demon. Text 28.
What does eulogized mean?
Praising. Yam yogino yoga samadhina raho dhyayanti linga dashato mumukshaya tashyai sadai daitya rashabha padhato mukham prapasyam tanum na utshaj sarjahya. Don't learn Sanskrit. Please, this is getting worse. You're making it worse. Kshitau on the ground. Here. Yam hum yoginaha, the yogis, yoga samadhina, in mystic trance, the haha, in seclusion. That's what I said. No, he said seclusion. Same thing. Dhyayanti, meditate upon, lingat, from the body, ashataha, unreal, mumukshaya, seeking freedom, tasya, of him, eshaha, this daitya, son of Diti, rashabaha, the crest jewel, pada, by a foot, ahataha, struck, mukham, countenance, prapashyan, while gazing on, tanum, the body, utsasarja, he cast off, ha, indeed. Translation. Brahma continued. He was struck by a forefoot of the Lord, from whom yogis seeking freedom from their unreal material bodies meditate upon to seclusion and mystic trance.
While gazing on his countenance, this crest, jewel of Diti's son, has cast off his normal coil. Purport. The process of yoga is very clearly described in this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is said here that the ultimate end of the yogis and mystics who perform meditation is to get rid of this material body. Therefore, they meditate in secluded places to attain yoga trance. Yoga has to be performed in a secluded place, not in public or in a demonstration on stage, as nowadays practiced by many so-called yogis. Real yogis' aims are riding at one of the material body. Yoga practice is not intended to keep the body fit and young. Such advertisements of so-called yoga are not proved by any standard method, particularly mentioned in this verse in the word yam, or unto whom, indicating the meditation should be targeted onto Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even if one concentrates his mind on the Bore form of the Lord, that is also yoga. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, one who concentrates his mind constantly in meditation upon the personality of Godhead is in one of his many varieties of forms is the first class yogi, and he can very easily attain trance simply by meditating upon the form of the Lord. If one is able to continue such meditation of the Lord's form at the time of one's death, one is liberated from this mortal body and is transferred to the kingdom of God. This opportunity was given to the demon by the Lord, and therefore Brahma and other demigods were astonished. In other words, the perfection of yoga practice can be attained by a demon also if he is simply kicked by the Lord.
Text 29. Etau tau parshadau asyam shapad yatau asad gatim punah kati payai stanam prapatyate ha janmabhihi. Ye tau, these two, thou, both. Parshadau, personal assistants. Asya, the personality of Godhead. Shapat, because of being cursed. Yatau, have gone. Asat gatim, to take birth in demonic family. Punah, again. Kati payai, a few. Sthanam, own place. Prapatyate, will get back. Ha, indeed. Janmabhihi, after births. Translation. These two personal assistants of the Supreme Lord, having been cursed, have been destined to take birth in demonic families. After a few such births, they will return to their own position. Text 30. Namo namaste akila yagnatantve Sthitau grihitamala sattvamurtaye Dishyahatoyam jagatam aruntadas Tvatpada bhaktya vayamisha nirvrta. Devaha, the demigods. Ucha said, Namaha, obeisances, Namaha, obeisances, Te unto you, Akila Yajna Tantave, the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Titau, for the purpose of maintaining. Grihita, assumed. Amala, pure, Sattva, goodness, Murtaye, form, Distya. Fortunately, Hata, slain. I am this, Jagatam, to the worlds. Arun Tudaha, causing torment. Tvatpada, to your feet. Bhaktya, with devotion. Vayam, we. Isha, O Lord. nirvrita, having attained happiness. Translation: the demigods address the Lord, all obeisance unto you. You are the enjoyer of all sacrifices. You have assumed the form of a boar in pure goodness for the purpose of maintaining the world. Fortunately for us, this demon who was a torment to the worlds has been slain by you. And we too, O Lord, are now at ease in devotion to your lotus feet. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The material world consists of three modes: goodness, passion, ignorance. But the spiritual world is pure goodness. It is said here that the form of the Lord is pure goodness, which means that it is not material. In the material world, there is no pure goodness. In the Bhagavatam, the stage of pure goodness is called Sattvam Vishuddham. Vishuddham means pure. In pure goodness, there is no contamination by the two inferior qualities, namely passion and ignorance. The form of the boar, therefore, in which the Lord appeared, is nothing of the material world. There are many other forms of the Lord, but none of them belong to the material qualities. Such forms are non-different from the Vishnu form, and Vishnu is the enjoyer of all sacrifices. The sacrifices which are recommended in the Vedas are meant to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In ignorance only, people try to satisfy many other agents. But the real purpose of life is to satisfy the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. All sacrifices are meant to please the Supreme Lord. The living entities who know this perfectly well are called demigods, godly or almost God. Since the living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, it is his duty to serve the Lord and please him. The demigods are all attached to the personality of Godhead. And for their pleasure, the demon who was a source of trouble to the world was killed. Purified life is meant to please the Lord. And all sacrifices performed in purified life are called Krishna consciousness. This Krishna consciousness is developed by devotional service, as clearly mentioned here. Today we read up to Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 30. We'll continue reading tomorrow. Gandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. We'll continue to Guru Puja now. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Sri Guru Cherana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadna. Andamui Savadana Mate. Jehara Prasadi Bai He Baba Turiya Jai. Krishna Prati Hoya Hoite. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Itete Guriya Kya. Guru Mukha Arana Kori Mani Asha. Sri Guru Cherani Rati Aise Uttama Gati. Jai Prasade Pure Sarva Asha. चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से। दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो। प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाशा जाते। विधि गाय जहरा चेरितो। श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आदा माजे नारा बंधु। लोकाना लोकेरा जीवाना। आह प्रभु कोरो दो या देह मोरे पादा चाया। ए बेजास गुसुक त्रिभुवाना। इल प्रभु पाद पतिता पावाना। जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा। Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Stop it. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Chaitanya Nityananda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nityai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nityai Gaura Hari Bo. Lotus feet of our spiritual master, the only way by which I can impute devotion to others. I bow down to his lotus feet.